Hi there. In episode 2, I explained how we all engage in global communications, whether we realize it or not, every time we create content or post a comment online. So when interacting with someone beyond your border, wouldn't you like to say something that touches their heart or touches their mind? In this video, I'll dive into my global communication skills and strategies. Among the first steps we should take is to understand our international audience as clearly as possible. Who they are, what they want, what they need, why they need that, how exactly to impact them, and so on. To hit this target, I'll reiterate one communication strategy throughout my videos: the need for context. This means how to describe the reality over here as vividly and as accurately as possible for an audience over there, especially if they have never been over here. What do they know? What don't they know? What must they learn from us? Let's assume our target audience is smart enough yet curious to learn more. They need the context of relevant, necessary details. Take me as an example. With you, I'm communicating with a global online audience. I aim to be welcoming and accessible with my words. How? Because I'm imagining you and your context. You're certainly smart enough, curious to learn, but not a communications expert. Similarly, every nation worldwide has a segment of society that's smart because they're well educated and exposed to other cultures, but also curious about people and events beyond their own border. Let's also assume they've never been to your country or ever interacted with your society. I call them non-experts. So they're smart and curious, but non-experts. So when you create content online, always remember this audience. Identify which details to include so they can follow you as clearly and comfortably and grasp the reality. That said, how do you identify which details to include or exclude? Here's a filter for you to apply. My audience needs this fact or this detail because why? Finish that sentence. Make your argument for what to include, what to exclude. Let me illustrate all this with an example. Me. Here I am, hoping to positively impact you with my skills and strategies, not just to improve your communications, but your global communications. So you may reasonably wonder, who's this person suggesting how I should communicate with an international audience? What are his credentials? Not only do I want to prove I'm not bluffing, but to build my credibility in your eyes. So here's some of my own necessary context and relevant backstory. I speak as someone fortunate enough to have lived on 4 continents and enjoyed the hospitality of 4 distinct societies. First, I spent 6 years living among the Hungarians in their capital, Budapest. Then, 5 years back in New York, where we started a family. With our 2 young sons, we then returned to Central Europe for 5 years in Hungary's northern neighbor, Slovakia, living among the Slovaks. Once we added our baby daughter to the mix, the 5 of us embarked upon a real-life adventure in southern Africa. For the next 4 years, we lived in the mountain kingdom of Lesotho, among the Basotho people. Lastly, from there, 5 more years abroad in Beijing, the beating heart of a robust China, living among the Chinese, one of humanity's oldest and greatest civilizations. And today, finally, I'm back in New York, growing roots here. Now imagine, if you didn't know my context, would you listen to my views of global communications? Unlikely. So, keep in mind, the right amount of context can deepen the impact of our communications. Moving forward, I'll have much more to say about our smart, curious, non-expert audience. For now, though, keep them in mind whenever you post. If you want to collect more of my weekly skills and strategies, hit the subscribe button. And in the comments below, ask me any question about your own relevant context or that of your audiences. Thank you.